So from most of the faces I saw here, when I walked in, not just when I got on stage, what would that girl have to say? What does a woman in a dress and heels will have to say? I would probably think the same thing if I were you, but just bear with me. Okay. So my name is Naureen, and I'm here to talk to you about the many faces of women. I started modeling when I was 26 years old, and for women, this is somehow old. It was complete luck for me to join the modeling world or the fashion world. But for me, I only pursued it because at that time I was at a very low point in my life, and I wanted to feel confident. Just like everybody else, I have a lot of insecurities, and for me, this was the way to get over them. I remember the very first time I had my photo session, my first photo session, and I remember how the photographer used to tell me how to stand and how to pose, and on the outside I had to look completely confident, although on the inside I was thinking to myself, why am I here? I'm not even pretty. I'm so gonna mess this up. And when first time I got on stage at the catwalk, doing the catwalk, I was thinking, so I need to go out there and have all those cameras facing me, and I have to have this sharp look like that picture. And to me, I was thinking, I'm so falling down on my face, and everybody's gonna laugh, and they're gonna take my picture, and they're probably gonna put it on social media. But it came out looking like I know what I'm doing, and nothing can actually affect me. Modeling, for me, it helped me reach what I want when it came to my confidence, and it still does. It doesn't, I never become an arrogant woman. I just know that because of it, it made me who I am today, a version that I like. So for that part, I actually need to demonstrate something. Everybody of you guys looked at me and saw a girl in a dress, and probably wondered, what does she have to say to us? So to continue that, I have to show you another side. Oops. So if I would have came to the stage just like that, would you all think the same thing you thought when you saw me? That's the other face of me. I have been working in marketing for the past 10 years, since I graduated, and I'm considered very lucky to work in a field that I actually like. Ever since I graduated, I always wanted to join the marketing world. I started working in hotels as a marketing and PR executive, and then I moved to the advertisement world where I handled ads in magazines, and then I got more into PR in the payment solution industry, where actually my job helped me with the phase that I'm going to talk about next. And then that side. Ever since I was 13, I would write pieces here and there, and I wouldn't actually think much of it. It was just like a diary or a journal. But after a certain time has passed, and I start working in PR, a part of PR is to write and to share your writing with the media. So I wanted to, somehow that job reminded me. So I started writing, and I wanted to share my writing with the world. But when I actually started wanting it to mean something more important, it was because of a piece I wrote that fixed a relationship between a father and his son. And I kept wondering to myself, so some words I put together actually fixed someone's life and a child's future. This piece is one of the very close ones to my heart, and I would like to share it with you. She told me one day you will return in regrets, but I could never believe someone like you could ask for redemption. But here you are. All those years I've wondered why you were gone. Was I the reason, or was your heart just as cold as ice? I looked around and all I could see was happy people playing family, and mine was missing you. I figured you were never in the picture. You tore apart the full picture and played the victim. But little did you know that table would turn. I now stand tall and look into your eyes, and all I could think of is how thankful I am you were gone. And she was the only one there for me. What is the matter? Don't you recognize me? I'm an image of what you broke long ago. I'm another version of a woman who spent every moment of her life trying to fill up the hole you left deep inside me. For years I've wondered whether I have crossed your mind. Every time I asked her where you were, she would gaze away with a sincere smile on her face that couldn't hide the sadness in her eyes. Thank you, Father, for toughening me up. I never needed you. Don't come now because I'm afraid I'll disappoint you, like you did a long time ago. I want you to know my mother taught me to forgive and forget. So you can leave in peace now. I won't remember you. See, writing was one of my dreams, and I know somehow it's a cliche. Everybody says if you fight for your dream, you're actually going to reach it. But I actually believe it is true. If you care about something really, really deep down in your soul, if you fight for it, you will reach it. You just have to have the patience and the support you need from others. And you have to believe in yourself so much. You have no idea. And because of how this started, I'm actually very, very happy to say that hopefully by end of this year, I'll have my book published. And I have a friend who actually helped me writing my book. And he was the first to publish my first 10 copies, and I owe it all to him. Thank you, Tarek. So, that part. I've been married. I can't actually do it. Do that. Hi, baby. Hi. I thought you might. So this is the most surprising part in my story, is that I'm a single mom for this beautiful little girl. I've been married to my best friend, my 8-year best friend, at the age of 23. And why were you scared? تبغي تقعدي على الترابيزة؟ ممكن تقعدي على الترابيزة؟ تقعدي على الترابيزة دي؟ Okay, there you go. كده حد؟ Okay. So I've been married to my best friend of 8 years since college. And after a very long fairy tale story, by the age of 24, I had this beautiful girl who is very shy. Hey, no? Okay. And I've been in court for 3 years since 25, trying to get a divorce. The fact that I had to stand in court against my best friend as if he was an enemy, this changed a lot for me. And for a while, it made me wonder if good people even exist. It shook my confidence in a way I never understood before, and it made me lose faith in humanity and myself. Being a single mom was one of the scariest things I've ever had to do. And still, till this moment, it's not an easy thing. There's a lot of challenges and a lot of screaming and crying most of the time. But at the end of the day, her love is worth it. So one day, when she was 3, no. عايزة تنزلي؟ طيب. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So one time, when Talia was 3 years old, we were coming home from an outing, and she fell down and opened her lip, and she needed stitches. A lot of people that are very close to me know that I can't actually stand blood. I can't face blood at all. And there was blood everywhere. So I tried to remain as calm as I can. I helped her put up her clothes again. And I took her outside my room to go to the hospital. And then my dad and mom asked me if I would want them to come with me. And actually that was one of the moments or the main moment I realized I'm actually on my own. This is it. I'm always gonna have the support and help of family and friends, but when it comes to what really matters, I really am alone. That's it. So I told my parents that I will do it on my own. I took her to the hospital, and then the doctor checked her out and told me that she needs stitches. And there are 2 ways to do this. Either she takes an injection on the lip, and then they start just stitching her up. But if she resists or cries, then we will have to actually put her under in a complete surgery. And for a child that is 3 years old, this is really not something you would want. So I went to Talia, and I told her, probably you're gonna get stitches. I didn't lie to her. I just told her that, honey, you need stitches, and there are 2 ways to do this. And I explained to her what the doctor said. So please be good for mommy and don't cry, because we need to do this the easy way. She just told me, just be by my side. And then the doctor just started stitching her up, and Talia didn't even beep. She didn't cry or yell or anything. I was even shocked. I didn't even know how she stayed really this calm. And then when she was done, the doctor looked at her and said, wow, you're very strong. And she looked at me and smiled and said, I'm strong like my mom. And and that second, I actually understood why I've been through what I've been through. Because I know sometimes life can get really, really hard, and we can't actually understand why certain things happen to us. But we always have to have faith that no matter what we're going through, if we couldn't handle it, God wouldn't put us through it. That saying or quote that says, what doesn't break you makes you stronger, it's actually true. And now I actually like that I'm a single mom. I wouldn't be here in front of any of you if it wasn't for Talia, if I wasn't a single mom. After my divorce, I got into modeling because I really felt really down after it, and I felt like I have zero self-esteem or confidence. And I became the only model in Egypt that has a child, which for me, it's a big achievement. Even though for some it could mean nothing, for me it was really, really special. And somehow, after my divorce, it helped inspire with my writings, and it helped me relate to people and understand what they're feeling, more than normally. And because of that, it actually helped me reach my book. So now I became this woman that can model, write, work, and be a mom all at once. But the moment that made it all worth it, the moment I knew I was doing it right, was when my daughter called me, "You're Wonder Woman." And when I asked her why, she said, "Because you're the strongest person I know." So let's wrap this up. We perceive people the way we glance at them at the first time. That's just how we are. And some people think that they don't judge, even though they do judge. And believe me, I've met a lot of that. And then there's other people that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, and no matter what they know about you, they would never judge you. And for those people, those are the ones I'm grateful for the most in my life. And I can't imagine losing. Don't try as much as you can not to blame others for your actions or your path or how things went in your life. That's really when you find peace internally, and it kind of helps to let go of your issues or resentment against someone, and it helps you to move on in general. Sometimes life will bring you down, and some other times you'll bring yourself down. And it's the easiest way out to blame others, because it's easier than saying, no, this one is actually on me. I'm the one that did that, and I deserve the consequences. So let me leave you with this. It's okay to fall down, because we are meant to fall and stand 1,000,000 times before we get things right, before we understand the reason or the lesson. Make mistakes, own it, face it, learn from it, and move on. Exhaust your mind with overthinking all you want, because at some point in your life, you will reach peace. And lose yourself only to find yourself later. Be traumatized, broken, hurt. Cry your eyes out or scream on top of your lungs if you want to. Because for me, the only way to appreciate happiness when it comes knocking on your door is to go through it all. Thank you.